Hi everybody, Mary here from A Recreated Life, and today I'm bringing you another cooking video, and it's kind of a fun one. Today I am making something called a fresh berry pie. I've made these pies before and I just love them. I've been craving something sweet, and I like this kind of pie because it's got a lot of fruit in it. And so I always kind of justify, well, I'm getting a little sweet, but I'm getting some fruit too. So that's kind of how I justify it. So anyway, what it calls for is a cup of sugar, which I cut back on. I don't use a whole cup. This is probably in here is probably somewhere between 2/3 and 3/4 of a cup of water. It calls for 3 tablespoons of cornstarch. I have an allergy to corn, so I can't use it. I use something called arrowroot instead. So that's what I'm going to use as my thickener. It also calls for a tablespoon of white corn syrup, but again, I just skip that because all that is a sweetener. It also calls for a pinch of salt, and in here I just kind of ground a couple grounds of salt, and this is 2 tablespoons of strawberry jello, and of course your pie crust, and a quart of sliced chilled strawberries. And then when you serve this up, you serve it up with whipped cream, but I avoid dairy, so I'm going to use probably some non-dairy yogurt, if anything. Okay, so what I have to do is I take the water and the sugar, and along with that, I have to take the arrowroot and put that in there too, and have to cook that until it turns clear, and then I cool it down. So I hope that a tablespoon of this isn't too much, but it does kind of tend to clump. So I've baked my pie crust, and I've baked my pie crust, and what is that? And it's cooled down. So I'm going to turn you guys around so that you can see me do the cooking of I'm just going to heat this up, and I'm going to whisk it the whole time because I don't know how it's going to thicken. We shall see. So anyway, while I'm doing this, I'll let you know I use arrowroot. I also use xanthan gum as thickener. You can use that in gravies or any kind of baking like this. I would think that the jello would be enough to gel it up, but I guess not. So anyway, what I do is I've sliced my strawberries. I've baked my pie crust. It's cooling down. It's almost cool. And I'm going to cook this. I got to cook it until it's clear, it says. And then you cool it down a little, and you're supposed to add the strawberries to it. Well, I've done this a couple different ways. I've added it to the strawberries, you mix it up, and then pour it in the pie crust. Or you can also, if you want to make the pie crust all fancy-dancy, you can leave your berries whole, and stack them in there. You can slice them and lay them all fancy in there. Sometimes I've done that for like a 4th of July party or something like that, or a barbecue where you're having friends over or going somewhere. So you can do it. There's a couple different ways you can do it. And today I'm gonna cook this, and I'm gonna cool it down just a tad, and then I'm gonna mix it in with the strawberries. Now this is a pie where you do not cook it. I mean, I cook the pie crust, but that's it. You just mix all this stuff up. You cook it with a fresh. That's why it's called fresh berry pie, because you're not gonna have the right burner on. Oh yeah. So you leave the berries fresh. It's really, really good in the summertime when strawberries are in season. Oh, it's super good to make this. The fresh strawberries are so, so, so good. I've also made, now today I'm making it with a graham cracker crust. These graham cracker crusts I love, but they're kind of pricey. They're like, $2.50, somewhere between $2.50 and $3.50 in the grocery store, but we have a food salvage store in my area, and they had them for 97 cents. So I got a graham cracker one, and I got a shortbread one. I don't think I can even make them homemade for that price. So anyway, that's what I went with today, and I like it because it comes with a tinfoil pie plate and everything. Otherwise, I like to make everything homemade. You guys know that. So it's getting a little, I can see it starting to get clear, but I'm just going to keep whisking. And I've also made this before with regular pie crust. So what you do is you make your pie crust like normal, and then you bake it. So it's a baked shell when you put it in. I kind of like the graham cracker one better. So anyway, that's how I do this. So I don't think you guys need to see me just finish cooking this. You know kind of what the deal is, and I'll turn the camera on in another minute. Okay guys, so I've got it cooling down. It's off the heat. I've got it cooling. It's thickening up really quickly. So I hope it's not too thick when I have to mix the berries in. But anyway, I added in the strawberry jello and the salt. It does say you can add red food coloring at this point. I don't add food coloring to anything. So this red's enough for me, and I wouldn't even care if it was clear. It would be fine by me, but you can certainly feel free to add some food coloring. It's a little couple things of jello, it looks like, that aren't breaking up in here. But anyway, I'm just going to let it cool down. I set my timer. I'm going to let it cool down for approximately 15 minutes, and hopefully it'll be cool enough to add the berries. Okay, so I've let the liquid cool down, and I'm going to mix it with the berries now. Has a really weird consistency because of the arrowroot. You know, I can't use the cornstarch, but there are alternatives. It just kind of gives it a little different consistency, which is okay. It's not a problem. All right. You want to make sure that liquid is cooled down, though, so that it doesn't cook the berries, because you want to keep them fresh. You know, fresh like fresh berries. All right. So I'm going to put it in the pie crust now. And that's really all you do, guys. You just cut up the berries, do what I just showed you, and now you put it in the refrigerator to chill. And tonight when I have dinner, I will hop back on and show you guys what it's like when I have it all done, and we should be good to go. Okay, everybody, so it's been in the refrigerator for about 3 hours, I think it is. It still looks a little runny in the middle, but I think that might be because I used arrowroot rather than, what do you call it? Oh, corn, what do they call that? Cornstarch, there. But anyway, I'm still going to eat it. I'm sure it's going to be delicious. So here we go. Let's see how it comes out of here. It's not very well. Not very well. Okay, so. You know, these crusts tend to break a lot. I do find that. I don't think I had it cut very well. I don't care, you guys, if it messes up. I could care less how bad it looks. It doesn't bother me at all. So, I'm sure that if you guys do this, it'll come out a lot better. There we go. Still looks good to me. All right. I am not going to put any kind of whipped cream or anything like that on it. I was thinking about yogurt, but nah, I don't feel like it. Delish. Those berries are fresh tasting. So just the right amount of sugar in it. Really good. It's satisfying my sweet tooth, that's for sure. And like I said, you know, see how that looks? I mean, it's quite red. I really didn't even need to put in the food coloring that it called for, so that's why I don't put it in. I don't need anything artificial. Okay, guys. Delicious. You should give it a try. Go on Pinterest or something and check out the recipes for a fresh berry pie. Alright, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really do appreciate it. Please like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. And happy cooking. See you guys next time. Bye-bye.